Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of According to MzShellz. And we're on episode 3 of the summit. Yes, I hope you have been catching up with all the messages, all the different videos from all my wonderful women friends that I've been sharing on my platform, and that you have decided to follow them and see what they're doing. So today, guest number 3 is someone I knew for a long time, but she also is special in her own way, like all the other women and every guest that comes on my stage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tiffany Mcbean. I knew Tiffany from back in the day when I would turn my radio on and hear the melodious voices of 4 sisters called the Wade sisters. And I would always be blessed by them. Even before I was saved, even before I started thinking about Jesus or anything, these 4 girls were always a role model to me. And fast forward, I was able to meet them indirectly by one of their sisters. And I grew closer to the family, and I call myself a distant sister. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tiffany. We're going to put our hands together. And guess what? This lady has moved from moving her voice as a singer, per se, to use her voice to let people know that they can make their horizon brighter. Whether they're going to use their mind, their writing ability, their voice, whatever talent they have. And that's the scope of where she has taken her voice. Not only just to be singing, but she speaks, she writes, everything. Well, guess what? She's going to tell us. Okay. So welcome, Tiffany, to
Thank
my
you.
stage, my show, the summit on According to MzShellz. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for having
Welcome,
me.
welcome,
I'm so
welcome. So
glad.
before we go into anything, I want you to just introduce yourself to my audience.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. It is such a pleasure to be here. MzShellz and I had meant to be on here a little earlier. I know I hear it. I'm number 3. I like the number 3. That
Oh,
number is
really?
special to me. I am a mom, a wife, an educator, a pastor, a friend, an aunt. I work in the Florida District, Orange County Public School, where I work with high school seniors and I work with teachers, helping them to structure their classrooms so teaching and learning can be effective and safe.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, as we all know, with women, we carry so many umbrellas, so many titles, and so many hats, and we do it with grace sometimes, with the grace of God and the strength of God. But I want to find out, when you get up every morning, what's one of your things that you use as your motivating um, guide that takes you through your day? Every morning,
That's a very good question. My mornings look exactly the same every single day since I was about 11 or 13. Every single day, my day looks exactly like this. And you had mentioned something about my sisters. And when I'm with them, I notice their days exactly the same. This is what we do. We wake up in the morning and we command that day. We speak what we want to see in that day. It starts with prayer. It starts with being centered, being recognizing that we're alive, we're here. We woke up, we saw this brand new day. And every single day that we have is a gift. You're here because there's something to do. So either you know what you are going to do and you've already made a plan for it, or you go into your day looking to ask God, what do you have for me to do today? So my day looks exactly the same. It starts with devotion and prayer. I have a prayer journal, so I write my prayers out, and I've been writing my prayers since I was about 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm.
And when my prayers are a request from the Lord, like something I need to have, and then the date that I get it. So I have a prayer journal, and I'm very meticulous. I plan a lot. So my day is already structured out on paper before I happen into the day. So
Oh,
on
wow.
Sundays, I plan out my week. There are so many, as you said, we wear so many hats as women. Now, I have 2 teenage boys, and they require a few things as well. And it's a very competitive environment that they're living in. And as a Black boys, they have to have their ducks in a row. They're also very athletic, so they have
Okay.
their own schedule. You know, one is focused on academics and one is focused on mostly sports and academics, and everyone's schedule. And I don't drive. My son don't drive. I have to take him everywhere. So my day is already planned out on paper, so I know exactly where I need to be and at what time. If it's a minister at a church, or if it's to do something for my job, or I have to do something for a friend or a sister or an aunt or a niece. There's so many things to do. We have births. I got a text yesterday from someone at church to let me know that her daughter will be at a recital on Saturday, April 2nd. So now I have to go and put that in my calendar. So I not only do things for my own children, but children of the parishioners at church, if they're in track and field, if they dance, whatever it is. So I don't really have the luxury of just stumbling into a day. My day is already structured out, and I just look to see, oh, what am I doing today? And there you have it. Like today was so packed. Today I had a brunch with my sisters, sisters in the Lord, pastors' wives. I had to make blankets for stand-up survivors of domestic abuse. And then I had a women's fellowship with exercise at 4. I know I'm here talking with you at 7. So everything has to be organized. There's no wiggle room. Everything has to be organized for it to be effective. So that's how my day starts. Commanding the morning, just asking the Lord, what are you having me do today? And then I look at it and I say, oh, this is where I'm going, and I get it done.
Awesome, cool. Awesome. That sounds like a good nugget for a lot of persons to just like channel that whole thing about commanding your day and just, spending time. Some people say they meditate, some people say they pray, but that's how you structure yourself. If that's how you get success, right? You're planning for
It's been
success.
like that ever since. It's been like that since high school. It's been like that since primary school. It's just been that way. That is what I know. My dad, he worked in tourism, and in Jamaica, we have something called Jamaican time. Let me tell you what Jamaican time is. Jamaican time is leaving for a party that starts at 7, and you're leaving your house at 7.
Yes, or 9.
I know, right? Look, you're being kind when you leave at 7. You just roll it up out of the house and putting your thoughts together at 7. You're gonna show up at that party an hour or and a half later. But because my dad was in tourism, 9 a.m. meant 9 a.m. 2 o'clock meant 2 o'clock. So I learned early to value time because my dad would have left me. Right? So
I can just imagine that happening.
Yeah, it would be over. I just wouldn't get where I'm going because I didn't value the time.
I can see his face now too.
Correct.
I can see that happening. Awesome. So you talked about your day. You talked about a lot of different things. With some of this stuff, we're going to go back into. But if you were to put a superhero label on it, what superhero power you think you possess? If you were supposed to go in the world of animation.
Okay. Well, that one is kind of easy. Let me tell you why. In my job, I am seen as Elastigirl. You know, Elastigirl from
You stretch.
Right. And from The Incredibles. And they gave me a little Elastigirl model on the bike. And I didn't see myself, I never thought of, I wouldn't have thought of it like that. But when they explain why they thought I was Elastigirl, is that I stretch into every situation where I needed. And when the bar is moved, I push towards that bar. Because being an educator, and with times changing and with students needing what they do and teachers as well, it has been a very uncomfortable environment, but I stretch. I just want to know, what is the expectation so I can meet it or surpass it. So I would think of myself as Elastigirl from The Incredibles. How about
That's
you?
right.
That's an
Awesome.
interesting question.
That's awesome though. That's awesome. And then okay, so since we're talking about stretching, how do you find sorry, in what way do you find a way to sort of like relax? Because if you're stretching, as they say, they call you Elastigirl, I'm sure you must have some self-care routine down packed or something. What's Tiffany's day?
Yes. So the first thing I do when I'm planning out my week and all the things that are required from me on my job or with my business or with my husband and church and my youngest son, of all the things that are required of me, I find first the time in the week that is just for me. I find that first. If we don't schedule ourselves in the whole matter, we're going to get left out.
True.
As women, and I'm not sure who your platform is, but as a woman with so many responsibilities, it's so easy to give and give and give some more. And so instead of being depleted and burnt out, find that time in that week, in that space, and say, okay, this is the spot where nothing else can go. For instance, if let me use today as an example, having brunch with my girlfriends, nothing else could go there. If someone wanted me to be somewhere today at 11, the answer was no, I'm not available.
Right.
It's just written in stone. And when we get together, we, like today was a brunch, sometimes we do facials, sometimes we do manicures, and there are times when I don't want to be with anyone, just myself.
Just yourself.
No one, not my husband, not my children, no, just nobody. And that's written down in that planner, and nothing goes there.
Right.
Nothing. That is my space. And when I'm at that space, I decide what I'm going to do. Am I going to run myself a bath, turn on music, and nobody bothers me? Am I going to Cold Stone for ice cream? Am I going to curl up in bed and watch a movie? Am I going to read a book? Am I heading over to the park? Am I going riding? It's just whatever it is, but that's my time. So when you are, and if just talking to your audience, if you are busy with so many things, nobody will tell you to pause. You have to put yourself on pause. You have to put yourself on pause. I will go out on my own, watch a movie, have dinner by myself, and that's fine. Other people might think it's crazy.
I do it too.
Hey, what? And pre-COVID, I'd be going to a movie. I haven't gone to the movies since COVID.
Right, I just do it at home too.
Yeah, I just order it at home. I know, right?
Right. I think I did it for my birthday, and it felt so weird because I kept my mask on for the entire time. I didn't buy popcorn or anything, but it was just good being there in that movie setting and stuff. But that's it. It was for my birthday. I did.
I know, right? Yeah, that's it. That's completely just it. I love going to the beach. I love just hanging out. I like reading. I like knitting. I like making things. I like painting. And so when I carve out time for myself, it's just for that and whatever it is that I want to do.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so important. It really is important. I always like asking my guests what they do for self-care, because that's some of the things I often talk about. So I heard you mention something about writing. Tell us a little bit about new season. Is it new season? Right.
It is called It's a New Season.
Right. It's a new season. I knew I was leaving out something.
But
Okay, I apologize, ma'am. I'm not infringing.
no, let me tell you, I'm always hashtagging new season. What? Because everything is a new season. If a new
Right.
job, it's a new season. I have a new student. Oh, that's a new season. My son moved to a new school. Oh, that's everything that happens that is somewhat different from my norm or my yesterday. Look, I just got into a new season. And then you recognize, oh, this is a new season. What is it going to require of me? Like you were saying that it was snowing some time ago.
Right, today.
Oh, it's today, right? You know how hot it is here in Florida? It's very warm. It's very warm. Imagine if I went outside in a coat or you went outside in flip-flops. So every season requires something of us. Now, guess what? Do you see when the pandemic hit, that first time when it came to our realization what was going on, it really shook me. Really did. I did not think I was going to survive that mentally. I didn't think my anxiety was through the roof.
Me too.
Everyone was dying, right?
Yeah, I was totally taken aback to how my anxiety level had risen high. And really, yeah, I was surprised. Look, somebody like me, you know, always bubbly and whatever. Yeah. I was taken aback too.
It was scary. It was scary for me. I was worried about my children. My son was a first year in college. When I picked him up, he said, "Oh, so this is college, Mom. This is it." You know, so he didn't get the full experience. People at church being scared. My mom lives far away. She's worried. My mom still lives in Jamaica. It was a scary thing. And because I have anxiety, diagnosed anxiety, that was going to just do me. And I said, Lord, you know, this is not going to break me, but it can. And I don't know what to do. I had that conversation with the Lord. I don't know what to do. I was fearful for my life, my children's life. People were dying in whole households. And I recognized that I was going into a new season. This was like global trauma. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And I knew one thing, that I could not break. Couldn't break, but I didn't know how to hold it together. So I sought the Lord on that. What do you need me to do? If you have to minister in church, you have to, so the churches are closed, but the people are still there and they don't fall away. Right. So how do I minister to the needs of the people? How I'm a leader. What do we do? And I sought the Lord, and a little at a time. It wasn't supposed to be a book. It was me helping myself with the things that the Lord told me. And look, MzShellz, let me tell you, Shell, I was like, day by day, I said, Lord, just give me this day.
Yeah.
Give me this one day. And step by step, by step, I remember going to my husband's classroom, and I'm still talking about new seasons, going to my husband's classroom to help him to strip down his room, because at the end of a school year, teachers have to pack their things away.
Right, they have to package, yeah.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that in my own room. I couldn't go to my own room. It was scary for me because it was just an empty room, and I could see the faces of the students that used to sit there, and I lost a student. I lost a student during COVID, and it was just horrible. And so I could not go in my own room, but my husband needed help stripping his room, and I don't have that emotional connection to his room. It's just chairs to me. So I show up in the room with just the chairs, and while I'm taking everything down and crying and saying, God, this is so scary. What am I going to do? And then the Lord told me, you really can't do anything. You can't control this. And that was the first realization, that I cannot control this. There's some things you can control. You have to know what you can control and what you can't. What you can't. And so step by step, when the Lord showed me how to get through this with my anxiety, I know other people have their own mental issues, you know, depression, anxiety, alcoholism. There's so many things. Not everybody is walking on two strong legs. Some people are wounded soldiers going through and making the best of it. And so with my wounds, making the best of it and growing and not faltering and not breaking and getting strong and still leading and meeting people where they need the most help, driving to their homes, giving communion, burying people, doing the things, ministering to the needs of people that were losing their own family, dying on their own. It was hard.
Right.
And for some people, it's still hard. And I said, oh, I cannot be the only person going through this. It can't just be me. So if I know how to do this now, if I can wake up every day and do this, then other people need to know how to do it too. And that's how I started writing New Seasons.
It's a new season.
And in the space of 3 months, the book was done. There was a miracle, actually. It didn't take a lot of time, and I didn't start my year knowing I was going to write anything.
Book, right.
Yeah, I was just putting together, it has 7 chapters, putting together the things that helped me, the role of faith, the role of friendships. When change is hard, what kind of animal are you? You know, all these things, that change is here, now what? Push, all those things that are in there, things that I did, I put it in the book.
Awesome. And where can persons find the book? I know it's like a year now, right? About a year, but it's still promoting it.
2 years, because it was 2020.
I thought it was last year I saw it. Maybe it was last year I saw it, but it's 2 years. Awesome.
You know what? 2020 is just like a phantom year. Yeah, it's been 2 years. People can get it on Amazon. You can get it on my website also. And the churches, a lot of people are using it in their book clubs. So I have a curriculum for it. And
really?
I delivered some books.
So that means it has like a little handbook then.
Yes. There's a workbook for it.
Right, workbook is the word I want.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So people get the copy, okay? I need to get mine too, because I knew you wrote it, but I thought it was last year. I didn't realize it was 2 years.
I can send you one later. Just tell me what your address is. I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. All right, so we checked author, we checked your superhero. I want to find out the whole vision behind Bright Horizons. I'm intrigued. And to me, from my angle, it looks as if it's like a family vision, because I think your mom is involved too.
Wow.
I may be wrong, but you tell me.
Bright Horizons. Let me tell you how that came about. The name Bright Horizons was so many things. It's so many things. But when people look at their horizon, sometimes they get sad. Like, is this going to work for me? Like, Zora Neale Hurston has a book, Their Eyes Are Watching God, and in there she says, ships at a distance have all men's dreams on board. But we see our dreams at the horizon, but can we ever get to it? So it's like people have their dreams and they're working towards it, and it feels elusive.
Right.
And so inside they get discouraged. And they stop, they turn away from the horizon, walk away and think, okay, it's never happening. It's never going to happen for me. And sometimes, and my mom used to say, don't ever give up, because chances are the moment you give up was the moment it was coming your way. So just keep going. And that stuck with me. And I said, you know what? I have bright horizons. I'm looking at that horizon. It's going to come to me. I have bright horizons. So that term has been with me for quite some time. So you bring into your space and into your world who you are and the essence of who you are. Some people can't handle who we are. You know, sometimes we dim who we are just so we can fit in with everybody else. And when I was in high school, I was very quiet. I just dimmed who I was because I was shy. I was not comfortable or confident in myself. So I just kept everything really low. Like in Jamaica, it says small up yourself, just make yourself small. Right. I made myself really, really small. I just made myself small. And then over time, I recognize being small doesn't help anyone. It doesn't benefit anyone. When someone needs you and you have the capacity to give that word that will break their fetter, break their chain, give the word. Being small doesn't help. So I bring into everything I do who I am. And some people can't handle it. Some people say, oh, washing up here, what's going on? Well, I can't help it. And I don't try to help it anymore. I just bring who I am. So I bring bright horizons everywhere. When I was doing my master's, I did my master's in management of educational programs. At the time, I had one son, and he was about 4 or 6 months old when I started my program. And let me tell you another little private story here. I had postpartum depression when I had him. And I love my child so much. And at the same time, I didn't want to be around him. It made me uncomfortable. And I think, oh my God, I was praying for this child for so long. But when I did my master's, I had to leave him because I did my work as a first grade teacher. So I did my master's at night. So somebody has to watch the baby.
Right.
So, and my husband's a pastor, so he's always at the church. So we had somebody watch the baby. And when I got home, it was all about him in my heart, but I didn't hold him a lot. I was depressed, and it was hard to navigate that space. But everything I planned was for him. So when I was doing my program on management of educational programs, I created a home school packet, and I called it Foundations. And I used that to help him read and write. And he was above his grade level by 1 year. So in whatever age he was working at the next grade level. I didn't do that on purpose, but that's what happened when I created the packet and I did it with my child. Now, my mom was a principal for a school in Montego Bay.
Yeah, I can remember.
And she was retiring.
Okay.
She was retiring. And so everything was done. And she came up and helped me with my son. And she said, oh, it's a good packet. And I told her I made it. And she was like, this is so good. And she has a clinical eye. So what I thought I had was something for my son, Philip. But what she saw was a curriculum for a whole group of preschool students. Wow. And then she used it. To create a nice program for students in the basic school. Basic school would be like equivalent to
pre-K.
Pre-K, yes, pre-K to pre-K 3 or something, pre-K to 4 or 5. So that would be the age range. And she said, oh, this is so nice. What do you call it? And I told her, what are we going to call it? Let's call it Bright Horizons. And I just jumped into Bright Horizons. So she said, all right, I like the name. Let's go with it. And so she called her program, which became a school of 70 students.
Okay.
Using
I was trying to figure out how the spin was, but I was also fascinated.
That's what happened. So it's just a home care packet. And in the United States, a lot of parents choose to keep their children at home.
Especially now.
Exactly. And then when it's time for exams, they have to go into a school building that they're zoned for, but they're really homeschool students. So the homeschool students have their own homeschool packet. So I thought, okay, I'm going to homeschool my child when God blesses me and I don't have to go to work. And eventually he was almost 2 before I got over that depression. It was a long time. I started therapy when he was 15 months old. That's when I got a name for how I was feeling. Like, I didn't know what was going on. How do I not want to be with this child? I prayed for him. What is going on? And it was 15 months old when it was diagnosed. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I worked my way through, and that's homeschool packet that was designed just for my little boy.
Right, became a curriculum.
Yeah.
Awesome. So is it that
long-winded, right? I give too many stories. I need to
no, you're fine. There's so many gems, so many bars. I'm like, you just bars. It's good. It's been good. This is good. You're fine. Awesome. So I was just gonna ask you that. So the curriculum is only for homeschool, or you actually have it in a structure? Is Bright Horizon also a structured school? Because in my mind, I couldn't wrap my mind around what it was or what was happening.
Got it. So Bright Horizons is a structured school building in Montego Bay for students 0 to 5. So that is Bright Horizons Early Childhood Institution.
Okay.
No, because Bright Horizons is everything to me, and that story of ships at a distance having all men's dreams on board and people turning away in disbelief and in disappointment. But I'm saying to myself, I have Bright, so everything I do is Bright Horizons. There is a Bright Horizon educational consultant. I am the educational consultant. I work with churches and I work with schools. So I write the curriculum for my county. I write the curriculum for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. That's what they hire me to do, to write the curriculum. And now in Florida, we have brand new curriculum coming up. So this summer, I have to write a new curriculum for 10, 11, and 12th grade. My company is called Bright Horizons Educational Consulting.
Okay.
But I also
just have different arms to it.
Yes, and everything is called Bright
Horizons.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so it's an LLC for profit, and
awesome, Tiffany. Yeah. Let's drink to that.
Let's drink to
Bright Horizons.
I'm drinking cranberry juice, everybody.
Well, everybody know what mine is. Orange juice. Like that. Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. So do you have like an online, like someone watching maybe would want to tap in for their child, and not in Florida, not in Montego Bay? Is there a component a person can tap in and sign on or join or whatever the case is?
That's a very good question. Right now, I help students who are working on writing. So any middle school or high school student working on writing, they go to Bright Horizons Educational Consultations.com. And I can give you the website.
Right, yeah, man. It will be in the description, everything.
So then you click on parent resources. So you want to work with your child and he or she is struggling with writing. That's what we offer right now. In next year, we're going to add the math component because my husband is a math teacher, and I told him the district numbers for math is very low and your scores are so high. We don't work in the same district. We work in 2 different districts. But I'm letting him know you have the goods, and I would like to start working on that so we can offer it as well. But I'm a literature teacher. I teach writing, I teach analyzing, I teach that's my field. But in the future, it will have math as well.
Right. Awesome. So it's like a duo, a dynamic duo.
Yes. It is. My husband.
But that's what you guys are. Period.
I know, right? Yeah.
Big up yourself, Pastor Mcbean.
Over there.
I had to do that. Oh my goodness. Awesome. This is so fun. This is fun, really, Tiffany. This is awesome. So we talk about Bright Horizon. And going back to my intro, and I talk about you being in the Wade sisters and stuff. If you were supposed to go back then and talk to that young girl. What part did you sing? I know you guys had so many parts in your song.
Yes,
What part did
yes.
you sing? Soprano or alto?
No, I sang tenor.
Oh,
I
really?
I did. I was on a tenor, and even now I'm more comfortable singing tenor, but I
Mm-hmm.
sing soprano sometimes at church.
Okay. I think
But
Alorna was the alto,
yes,
right?
Bandra was the alto.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Lorna, who is your friend,
Mm-hmm.
is the soprano.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yes,
Awesome.
yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Right. So going back to that young lady who used to sing tenor, maybe about 16 or 17, what would you
Yes.
say to her? What
I
what
tell her,
what little
hmm,
note you would leave her or advice you'd say to her at that age?
I tell her that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's hard right now. You're in your feelings. Everything looks scary, but it's going to be okay. You are going to find your voice, and you won't be afraid to use it. And you'll use your voice to help so many people who are struggling with their own insecurities. So you're feeling these insecurities now, but trust me, you're going to get over it, and then you're going to help so many people get over theirs.
Awesome. Yes, finding your voice and be comfortable in it. Awesome. 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 So, as we get closer to the end of this lovely talk, I really appreciated you coming on. I made notes of something you said, and I'm going to draw back on it. At two different occasions, you mentioned something that your dad did, something that your mom did that has fashioned and molded your life. Anything, give us another one, whether it's from your mom's perspective or your dad, something that they have said or done that you have used as a guideline for your life. Because I know, you guys are close knit. As I said, I'm a distant sister.
Oh yes, oh yes. Not even so
I
distant
used
at
to,
all.
and listen to me. Once you guys were singing, I used to turn the radio up and try to sing along. I always want to get to come to any of your concerts, but I never did. But I was always a fan.
Yeah, those were fun times.
Always a fan.
Those were fun times. They didn't feel like fun at the time.
I can
It felt,
understand.
it
I can
felt
truly
like a
understand.
tour, but it was so good. And what was really nice about singing then was the ministry component of it. So it's nerve-wracking ministering to so many people, huge concerts, and we're so young. But it didn't feel like fun, but I get it now. I know why we had to do that.
And then you know what? Just a sidebar too is the fact that you were the only ones. You were not only making your voice heard, but you're a trendsetters. And the good thing is, as long as you guys lasted, there was no drama. Well, I don't know,
Yes,
but nothing
yeah,
came out. And I mean, on the island,
nothing.
it's easy for you to find the drama,
True,
and you
true.
always hear the sad stories at the group. But you remained ladies of the Lord. Grew up, and when the time came for that to be a different season, as you said,
Yes,
you guys
yes.
moved on and did your different things. I think it was something that, as I said, as a young lady looking on, it was something that you could look up to. So yeah.
Mhm. It was true and authentic. It was ministry. It was worship. It was sharing. It was giving. It was
Yeah.
all of those things. And because of the honesty of it, it lasted and impacted so many people. And as you
Yes.
said, on our island, it's so small. If there was anything like a speck, it would have
Right.
come out.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes. So back to the original question.
yeah, my mom is like my best friend.
Um.
I didn't talk much at all when I was little. I'd only talk to my sisters. I
mm,
wouldn't talk to others. And because of that, people thought that I was aloof and standoffish, they call it. And some people would say, oh, she's better than everybody else, but it wasn't that. I just never spoke.
mhm.
And in high school, if the teacher called on me to say something, I didn't say anything either. I just wouldn't answer. I knew the answer, but I just wouldn't speak.
Mhm.
And I was bullied a lot in high school. I ended up leaving my high school and going. I won't tell you the name of the school, but I went to a co-ed school and I was bullied a lot. And I was transferred to Montego Bay High School. So that school is so dear to my heart. I have so many friends there. But when I got to my new school, I still didn't talk much, but they weren't mean. They just weren't mean. They were, okay, so you didn't talk much. I didn't make it a thing. They talked and I'd listen. My mom would say to me that you have a voice. You have a voice, you have something to say. It's not silly what you're going to say. And chances are nobody else would have thought of it that way. So think about it as not being insecure about what you're going to say, but you giving information to people that they probably didn't think of in that way. And I thought, that was like an eye opener for me. I was like, ooh, because all I'm thinking is if I say something, it's wrong. And people are going to laugh at me. And my mom is giving me another narrative. She's giving me another way to think of it. She's saying, no, it's not that it's wrong. It's just that it's a different thought. And everybody's going to say, oh, I never thought about it that way. And I said, oh. But now I'm thinking when I'm called on in class or my girlfriends are talking and I want to say something, just muster the strength and say it. I know it seems weird. Like, who does that? Who doesn't want to say something? Me, I didn't want to say anything. So I'd muster the strength. I would even repeat it in my mind before saying it out. When I said it out, over a period of time, I recognized, oh, nobody laughed at the sentence. Nobody thought something was strange about it. It was just another thing. So then I'd have my mom at the back of my head saying to me, it's not that they're going to say, oh, your answer is wrong. It's like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So I present the information slowly over a period of time. I use my voice to articulate what I was thinking based on what my peers were saying. Another thing that my mom said to me was, so that's one. But the other one that I wanted to share, and I think this will resonate with a whole lot of other people, is the comparisons. We compare ourselves to others, whether we realize it or not. We compare that someone's social media post to ours. We compare their homes to ours. We compare their cars to ours. We compare the things that their family to ours, their children to ours. We compare. What I learned when I was in the 11th grade, this is what my mom taught me. She said, there'll always be someone that's better than you and someone that's worse off than you. Your thinking is not to be, oh, where do I fall in that? Is that person better than me? No, that's not our thinking. Our thinking is focus on your own lane.
True.
Focus on your own lane. So if you stop to look at the person and say, oh, that person is better than me, I wish I had this, you're going to end up feeling bitter and insecure. And if you look at the person that is lower than you and say, oh, that person is lower than me, you're going to be prideful. Right. So in the 11th grade, I learned this. I learned, don't focus on what other people are doing. That is not your business. My mom told me that one evening. I was crying, I was sad, and I was telling her, this girl said this in class, and then this one said that, and I never have anything to say, and I did just feel fool, and she said, no, we're not doing this. Don't look at what they are doing. Look at your own lane. Now, the thing is, in Jamaica, we like to run. Well, I was a
right. I always do that too. Yeah. Whenever I tell myself, mind your business, I just see a imaginary truck in front of me.
Go ahead. Exactly. So I just remember what my mom said. Look at your own lane. You can't look behind you. You can't look at those running on the sides. Look at your own lane. I'll never forget it. Bless my whole life.
Right, trust me.
Bless my whole life.
Trust me. Someone, I think it was Sarah Jakes who talked about Mind Your Business Ministry on her podcast. I liked it and I took it as my own. Mind your business.
True. Yes, mind your own business. Exactly.
Yep. Truly. That's good. There's just gems and bars, everything on this lovely episode. And before everybody think, oh, it's finishing already. Yeah, but you can always hit the replay and play it again and play it and play it. But Miss Mcbean, Tiffany, you call yourself. Leave some words. I mean, you've been doing it all hour long, all episode long, but let's one more time give some word of encouragement to the audience, whether they're women, whether they're men, something that they can walk on, because it's so for me, I'm walking away with your voice. You know that part about owning your own voice and not smalling yourself. So I'm walking away with that, just encouraging me. I did that, I was like, okay, be comfortable in your space. Even though I always tell myself this time you still feel insecure. But leave another gem, leave another bar, leave something to encourage our audience as we are about to close and stuff.
Yes, we are living in a very difficult time. We make the best of it. We put our best foot forward every time. We have children and they're navigating the space. We're interacting with people and they might be brusque. They might not really understand what it is that you're experiencing. And so sometimes we knock heads when we're interacting with people. Look, we have to know what we can control and what we can't. And in this season, what helps is to exercise self-awareness and self-management, the two of them. Self-awareness, that's where you are thinking about myself right here. It's not being selfish. It is recognizing this is how I'm being impacted by what's going on. When we are whole and strong and aware of ourselves, we are better ministers to the people that we serve, to our children, to those in our workplace, to our neighbors, to our family members. When we are aware. Now, being aware means that you're not concerned about what other people are doing. So let's say someone does something and it makes you feel offended. Can we assume goodwill and focus on ourselves, our awareness? So, okay, we say, I felt offended by that. Not that you're going to have that conversation, because what if that person is not mature? You don't have to go into a tit for tat or an argument or no. Right now, with everything that's going on in this season and people, everything being volatile, racial tensions, wars, a lot, if each person becomes self-aware and exercise self-management. Self-management would be, know that I'm feeling this way. What am I going to do about it? Doing that prevents us from acting irrational, being reactive with everything that happens, and it saves our relationships. We get to process, we need to slow down, we need to recognize everything that's going on and realize other people are interpreting what's going on in different ways based on how they've been socialized. So everybody's not you, everybody's not me. We assume goodwill, we recognize how we feel, what is causing us to feel this way, and then what are we going to do about it? All of that is self-awareness and self-management.
True.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Right.
There's so many fractions and friction and parents and children and it's just so much. If as a teacher, if I call a parent, they might just sound off on me for I'm trying to help you. You know, so there's a lot going on, and for those who are in social work, they see it too. The cases are rising with suicide. You just have no idea what anybody's going through.
Right.
So as you practice self-awareness and heal yourself, what some people need support, some people need the therapy, some people need the support from their pastors or their friends. Some people can't just do it by themselves. But as much as you can, be aware of self. That way, you're not waiting for issues to compound. And then the last straw broke your back. Okay, the last straw makes it worse.
Right.
And then you get volatile with someone. You know, self-management, self-awareness. And the same thing I talk about in self-care for educators, because we live in a difficult, we have a difficult job where we're always giving and giving, and we don't get the chance to turn off. Like with other jobs, we can walk away, we can take breaks. Teachers don't have that. We're in this room for 7.5 hours, and you have to manage the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
You have to manage that internal temperature. So I always talk about self-management, self-awareness, practicing mindfulness, being present, recognizing where you are and what you need, and getting the help that you need.
Wow, self-awareness is a big umbrella. Self-care, recognizing what you need and getting that help, whether it's extra support, whether it's a sounding board, a sister, a therapist, right? It's important. It's really important. Well, wow. What to say, Miss Mcbean? Oh my goodness. This has been an awesome experience just sitting with you. Thank you so much, so much, so much. And I just want to say I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for partnering with me. May God continue to brighten that horizon, and may many more lives be touched, through not only your ministry with yourself and your husband, but with your writing and all the different things that you're doing. I'm sure there's a lot of things in the little pipeline where they come out to fruition and be a blessing to mankind. And may you leave here whenever that time is, which is far from now, truly empty.
Thank you.
Right. All those dreams come true. It's like a birthday.
I know when you did that for my birthday, I was like, whoa, Shells, what? I felt so special.
Oh my God. I tried to do that because I love birthdays. And I tried. That's why my whole platform is just centered around celebration.
You are amazing. I should interview you.
Oh, really? Oh, you should.
Yes. It's time for me to interview you. Yes. Who is this woman behind MzShellz who is always bigging up somebody?
Right. Your people call my people.
Making them feel special. Hello, who is she? Why does she do this? She's awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your people call my people, and we decided that that's in line.
Let's.
Cheers. Oh. Awesome. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 3 of the Summits has come to a close. But as I said, replay and share and like and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to follow Tiffany on what platforms? Tell them.
I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. I'm also on LinkedIn.
Okay, cool. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn at the same name, Bright Horizons, or
on my name, Tiffany Mcbean.
Okay, Tiffany Mcbean. All right, no problem. So make sure you connect with her, guys, and get that book at Amazon, right? And everything that all those different connections for the reading and the writing and everything that she's doing, we're gonna put it in the description, guys. Click those links, follow through. I know your children will be blessed by it. So don't sit on the sideline and you want to do something for the summer or for the Easter break or whatever break that they're going to be on. I'm sure Bright Horizon has a package that you can plug in on. So don't miss out on that. All right, guys. So thank you so much for making it according to MzShellz. Don't forget that you are number one. Take care of you. And I love you. And Tiffany does too. Thank you, guys.